Most people think emergencies create debt because the emergency is too expensive. But the truth is, the debt often begins long before the emergency happens. It begins when every dollar you earn already has somewhere to go. Rent, transport, groceries, loan payments, subscriptions, family responsibilities. A few small comforts that make life feel manageable. Then one ordinary Tuesday, your car refuses to start. The repair costs $500. You do not have $500. So you use a credit card, borrow from a friend, delay another bill, or take a quick loan. The emergency ends, but the payment follows you into next month. And that is how one unexpected expense becomes 3 months of financial pressure. Later in this video, I will show you a simple escape tool called the emergency reset rule. It is not complicated, and you do not need thousands of dollars to begin using it. But first, you need to understand why emergencies keep creating debt even for people who earn a regular income. An emergency is supposed to be a temporary event, but for millions of people, it becomes the beginning of a permanent payment. The washing machine breaks, so they finance a new one. A medical bill arrives, so it goes onto a credit card. A family member needs help, so they borrow from their next paycheck. The electricity bill is higher than expected, so another payment gets delayed. A phone stops working. A child needs something for school. The car needs new tires. The roof starts leaking. None of these situations feels optional. And that is what makes the emergency trap so dangerous. You are not always borrowing for luxury. Sometimes you are borrowing just to keep normal life moving. Consider someone named Michael. Michael earns $1,800 a month. His rent is $600. Transport costs $250. Groceries are $300. Utilities and phone bills cost $180. Loan and credit payments take another $220. He also sends $100 to support his family. After everything is paid, Michael has about $150 left. That $150 is supposed to cover the small things he did not plan for. Extra fuel, a lunch at work, a price increase at the supermarket, a birthday contribution, a household item he forgot to buy. By the end of most months, almost nothing remains. Then his car develops a problem. The mechanic says it will cost $700 to repair. Michael needs the car to get to work. He cannot simply ignore the problem, so he places the repair on a credit card. At first, he feels relief. The car is running again. He can go to work. The immediate problem is solved. But next month, Michael still has the same rent, the same groceries, the same transport costs, and the same existing loan payments. Now he also has a new credit card balance. The emergency is over, but its cost has been added to his monthly life. That is the first part of the trap. The emergency creates a new obligation without removing any of the old ones. Pause for a second. Imagine carrying 5 heavy bags. Someone suddenly hands you a 6th bag. The problem is not only that the new bag is heavy. The problem is that you were already using both hands. This is what happens when a financial emergency hits a budget with no breathing room. A person may technically earn enough to survive each month, but there is no space for reality to go wrong. And reality always goes wrong eventually. The real financial danger is not that unexpected expenses exist. Unexpected expenses are normal. The danger is treating predictable surprises as if they are impossible to predict. A car will eventually need repairs. A phone will eventually fail. A child will eventually need something unplanned. A household appliance will eventually break. Prices will eventually rise. Someone in the family may eventually need help. You may not know exactly what will happen or when it will happen, but you know something will happen. That means many so-called emergencies are not truly unpredictable. They are irregular expenses. And irregular expenses need a place in your money system. Now here is the dangerous part. Once the emergency is placed on debt, the next emergency becomes even harder to handle. Suppose Michael's $700 repair creates a minimum credit card payment of $50 a month. His monthly breathing room falls from $150 to $100. Then the electricity bill rises by $40. Now he has $60. Then he needs medication that costs $70. He is short again, so he uses the credit card a second time. The balance grows. The minimum payment grows. His breathing room shrinks. This creates a cycle. An emergency causes debt. The debt creates a monthly payment. The monthly payment reduces available cash. Reduced cash makes the next emergency harder to absorb. The next emergency creates more debt. The trap is not one large disaster. It is a series of ordinary problems landing on a financial system that has no shock absorber. And this is where money psychology takes over. When people are under financial pressure, the brain focuses on immediate relief. Fix the car today. Keep the lights on today. Buy the groceries today. Avoid embarrassment today. Get through the week today. This is called short-term thinking under stress. It does not mean the person is careless or unintelligent. It means the urgent problem feels more real than the future cost. A $500 credit card charge solves today's problem. The interest feels distant. A payday loan puts money in your hand immediately. The repayment feels like next month's problem. Skipping an insurance payment frees cash today. The risk feels invisible. Borrowing from a friend protects your reputation at home. The awkward conversation feels far away. Quick relief feels like a solution. But sometimes it is only the transfer of pain from today to tomorrow. Here is another pattern interruption. Ask yourself this question. When an emergency happens, do you solve it with money you already own, or with money your future self has not earned yet? That difference matters. When you use savings, the emergency reduces your cash. When you use debt, the emergency reduces your future income. The first option hurts once. The second option can hurt every month. This does not mean you should feel ashamed if you have used debt during an emergency. Sometimes borrowing is the only realistic option available. The goal is not guilt. The goal is to prevent one difficult moment from becoming a permanent financial pattern. So how do you escape? Start with the first practical lesson. Separate emergencies from irregular expenses. A true emergency is urgent, necessary, and unexpected. A medical crisis may be an emergency. A critical car repair may be an emergency. A job loss may be an emergency. But annual school costs are not unexpected. Vehicle servicing is not unexpected. Holiday travel is not unexpected. Replacing an old phone that has been failing for months is not unexpected. These costs may not happen every month, but they still belong in your plan. Create small savings categories for them. You might save $30 a month for car repairs, $20 for medical costs, $15 for home maintenance, $25 for school or family responsibilities. These amounts may feel small, but small amounts collected before the problem are far more powerful than large payments made after the problem. Second, build a starter emergency fund before chasing a perfect emergency fund. People often hear that they need 3 to 6 months of expenses. That is a useful long-term target, but it can feel impossible when you are starting with nothing. Your first target could be $250, then $500, then $1,000. The purpose of the first fund is not to protect you from every possible disaster. It is to stop small emergencies from becoming new debt. A $300 emergency fund may not solve a job loss, but it can prevent a tire replacement, medical bill, or urgent repair from landing entirely on a credit card. Third, create space before trying to save more. Many people tell themselves, I will save whatever is left at the end of the month. But when the budget is already full, nothing is left. Instead, find one recurring expense you can reduce, pause, or remove. A subscription, a food delivery habit, an unnecessary upgrade, a payment on something you could sell, a costly service you barely use. Redirect that amount into your emergency fund immediately. The goal is not to remove every enjoyable thing from your life. The goal is to buy back a small amount of financial breathing room. Now we come to the escape tool mentioned earlier, the emergency reset rule. Whenever you use debt for a genuine emergency, do not simply return to your normal spending after the crisis passes. Enter a temporary financial reset. For the next 30 to 60 days, pause non-essential spending and direct the freed-up money toward two things: clearing the emergency debt and rebuilding a small cash buffer. For example, imagine you borrow $400 for an urgent repair. You temporarily pause $40 of subscriptions and entertainment. You reduce eating out by $60. You delay a non-essential purchase worth $50. That creates $150 a month. You use part of it to attack the emergency balance and part of it to rebuild cash. This prevents the emergency from quietly becoming part of your permanent lifestyle. The rule is simple. Emergency debt should trigger emergency behavior. Not panic, not shame, not years of punishment. Just a temporary reset until your financial foundation is stable again. Why does this matter so much? Because financial stability is not about avoiding every problem. That is impossible. It is about becoming harder to knock over. Two people can face the same $500 emergency. One uses savings, handles the problem, and continues with life. The other borrows, adds a payment, falls behind on another bill, and spends the next 6 months trying to recover. The emergency is the same. The financial system is different. Your emergency fund is not just money sitting in an account. It is protection from expensive decisions. It gives you time to think. It allows you to compare repair prices. It helps you avoid desperate loans. It protects your future paycheck. And perhaps most importantly, it changes the way an unexpected problem feels. Without savings, every surprise feels like a crisis. With even a small buffer, the same surprise becomes an inconvenience. You do not need to build complete financial security overnight. Start by accepting one truth. Something unexpected will eventually happen. Then prepare a small amount before it does. Separate predictable, irregular costs from true emergencies. Build your first $250, then $500, then $1,000. And when an emergency forces you into debt, use the emergency reset rule so the payment does not quietly become permanent. Because the goal is not to live a life without emergencies. The goal is to stop emergencies from owning your future income. And once the emergency is placed on a credit card, another trap often begins, the minimum payment trap. It makes the debt feel affordable while quietly keeping the balance alive for years. If you want to understand the next traps that keep people financially stuck, watch the Money Trap series, because it explains why earning more money can still leave people broke.